Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. I'm Juita Saleha binti NORDIN and my metric number is 195834. In this video, I will share about my industrial training experience under Department of Irrigation and Drainage Raup. It was started from 28 February until 12 August 2022. This video consists 4 parts, which is introduction, activity I had done, reflection, and lastly conclusion and recommendation. First, introduction. For the company background, Department of Irrigation and Drainage DID Raup is a government agency. It was in Raup, Pahang, and the working hour of DID Raup starting on Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Next, there are 5 main rules of DID. First, river management. Second, flood management. Third, beach management. Fourth, water source and hydrology. And lastly, eco-friendly drainage. DID Raup have a clear vision, which are to be the best organization in the public sector. The mission of the DID is leading and providing world-class services in the management of water resources, especially the management of flood, river and coastal zone to improve. And lastly, their tagline is doing the thing right and doing things right with quality, integrity and concern. Next is the organizational chart of the DID Raup that led by Mr. Muhammad Kamal Rizwan bin Kamaruddin as a District Engineer DID Raup and Mr. Nirwan bin Hussein as the Senior Assistant Engineer. There are 31 staff in the DID Raup. Next, the specific department I had assigned is under the Technical Department. This department had led by Mr. Nirwan as Senior Assistant Engineer and exists by 5 Assistant Engineers which are Mr. Muhammad Izwal, Mr. Syarif Anwar, Mr. Abu Hassan, Mr. Muhammad Hanif and lastly Mrs. Asila. As presented in screen, I had supervised by Mr. Nirwan bin Hussein as an industry supervisor. There are several reasons for selecting this company. First of all, the field of work at the DID Raup are related to the environmental management. Second, I was interested to know more on flood mitigation. And lastly, I wanted to learn about the technique and technology used by DID Raup to reduce the water turbidity in the Raup district. Next, let's move to my personal objective to achieve in the DID Raup. First objective is to link theory with practical aspect. Second, to enhance soft and hard skills. Third, to establish and strengthen confidence when performance of duty. And lastly, to get exposed in the real working environment. Next, moving to the activity part. First activity I had involved is water treatment plant project at Bilot and Semantan. I had got opportunity to join the meeting about this project with Director of DID Pahang, District Engineer and Assistant Engineer of DID Raup, contractor, consultant and all the agencies that involved with this project to discuss any issue that had been faced. Other than that, I also made site visit at the water treatment plant Semantan and Bilot to see the progress of project. For this project, I also got opportunity to know how the equipment testing had been done. The equipment testing of switchboard for water treatment plant for project at Bilot and Semantan had been done at the Auto Power Factory in Kajang. Then, I also got to join a site visit with the Minister of Environment and Water, which is Tuan Ibrahim bin Tuan Man, to see the progress of project. From this activity, I had known that this project is important, especially for the community in Raup, to get clean water supply, and I also had learned how to tackle issues related to the water turbidity. Next activity is collect and key in rainfall data. I had got opportunity to experience how to collect rainfall data at the rainfall station in Raut district. There are 11 rainfall stations that exist in Raut, which are at Kampung Dong, Batu Talam, Ceroh, JPS To, JKR Jeruas, Shalek, TMB Sempam, Sungai Pasu, Pranum, Ulu Gali and Ulu Atuk. Next, after collecting the data, I also had learned how to transfer the data to the form. All the important items that need to be recorded in the form are total of rainfall, the condition of the rainfall station, the total of mini load battery, and others. All the data need to be submitted to the ID Paha at the beginning of month for the record. From this activity, I had enhanced my skill to collect the rainfall data and learn the importance of recorded the rainfall data for every month. Next activity is site visit at flood area. I had experience to went to the site visit at the flood area at Kampung Gali Rau. I had went with the assistant engineer of DID Rau, Mr. Izwan, to see the condition of the flood. The flood was held after the heavy rainfall, and there are another factor that caused the flood, which is the condition of the river that made the water flow slow. The mitigation measures such as cleaning the river was decided to propose to tackle this issue. Based on this activity, I found that quick decision must be proposed when facing any issue. However, the decision must be appropriate with the issue faced to ensure that it will not give negative impact in the future. Lastly, the activity I had done is managing quotation documents. Even it was under the administration department, but I got this opportunity to learn about that. In this activity, I can understand how to deal with the quotation document from the stamping process, selling, and key in the information that needed such as contractor name and their proposed price. During the selling process, I able to know what the criteria was needed when the contractor want to buy the quotation document. During deal with the contractor, I understand the importance of communication skills to ensure there is no miscommunication with the contractor. Besides, I could also understand the process of analyze the quotation document that had been submitted by contractor. I able to understand that analyzing process is important to ensure the qualified contractor need to be chosen to handle all the project had been proposed. This is because it can reduce the risk of mistake and costly error. Next part is reflection. There are few valuable and unique experience I had get during my internship at DID Rau. First, I able to learn how to produce paperwork for program Cintailah Sungai Kita. Second, I get responsibility to develop video for Anugerah Khas Sumber Air JPKK Kampung Perwas Ulu Dong Rau for the sambutan Hari Sungai Sedunia Peringkat Kebangsaan tahun 2022. Other than that, I get opportunity to learn how to develop pictorial report for the project had been done. And lastly, I also get involved in department events such as Sambutan Hari Raya Peringkat Negeri, program Senam Robit dan Gotong Royong JPS Raut dan Majlis Pertukaran Kaki Tangan. Next, there are few problems I had been faced during my internship at the ID Rao. First, I having difficulty to interact and communicate with others. The solution I had take is train myself to be more confident during communicate with others. Second problem is I had afraid to face any mistake while doing the work given. To solve this problem, I had asked the staff to get proper guidance and clear clarification about the work given. And lastly, sometimes I have not much work to be done. In order to tackle this problem, I had read report of project had been done by the ID route given by my supervisor. Throughout my industrial training, I found that I had achieved my personal objectives, which are: first, I able to link theory with practical aspect. Second, I able to improve my basic skill and new skill. Third, I also get to enhance my self-confidence and being disciplined. And lastly, I able to gain experience to the real working environment. And the last part is conclusion and recommendation. There are few positive and constructive suggestions for improvement. First, improve communication skills and be more friendly through joining all the department events. Second, be more proactive by trying to be involved more in the work. And lastly, be more courageous in asking for help whenever facing a problem in work. Lastly, in my opinion, the ID route is suitable for future internship. It is highly recommended for internship, especially for environmental management students. Students have opportunity to gain knowledge related to the environmental management when they choose the ID route for the internship. Besides that, it was good place for practice for a future working environment. That's all for me. Thank you.